Four-time SEC Coach of the Year, and most recently the former head coach at the University of Auburn, our good friend Bruce Pearl. Good morning, Coach. Look, you've made a lot of runs through March, including a couple of Final Fours like last year's 2019, a half a dozen Sweet 16s. How is this Sweet 16 different than just any other game during the season?
Well, it's you win, you survive, and you advance, and you lose, and the season's over, and you start to recruit a new team. So there's just so much at stake. And what's amazing about this tournament is last week there were 68 teams still playing for a national championship. And right now we've only got 16.
You gotta love March Madness. And Coach, now that you're retired from coaching, what's it been like watching this tournament from afar, from the sidelines?
Well, you know, I'm not exactly on the sidelines. I'm so blessed to be able to work for CBS Sports and Turner Sports. And so I'm in studio kind of calling the game. So I get to be a fanboy and I get to teach the game. And I can't lose, you know. So the thrill of victory is not the same, but the agony of defeat is not as terrible.
There you go.
Now, one question I have is you get to see all the games now at the same time. You're seeing the stats. You're living there, probably every basketball fan's dream, which is something different than standing on the sideline. Do you see what we now see in March Madness as fans?
I do. Yeah, I do. And it's been great. You know, when Turner Sports and CBS partners to sort of work together, every game's on TV. Do you remember back in the day when, you know, you were hoping your game was going to be on the one channel, and if it wasn't, you know, you had to find different ways to watch it? Well, that's just not the case. Ratings are up and absolutely through the roof. And I think it's because that there is that sudden death, one shining moment. You win and you advance, you lose and the season's over. The guys are playing with such desperation. It's, you know, 50-50 balls, everybody's first to the floor. There's so much passion and emotion. And when you see teams lose and you see the tears on the podium, it's because everything they've been doing for the last 364 days suddenly comes to a stop. We're not going to go to practice tomorrow with this next group of players and coaches. You're going to be separated from your family. And it's very emotional, but that's one of the things that brings passion and such interest into the sport.
So, Coach, you're an analyst now, so you've been watching all these games, all of these teams. We got to get some predictions here, and do you see a Cinderella story?
Well, it's hard to think that the University of Texas in Austin, Texas, you know, one of the biggest, most prestigious universities in our country, is actually wearing Cinderella slippers. But that's the case. The Sean Miller's team is the lowest seed at 11, so they've had a great run. Yeah, they absolutely have a chance, you know, to advance in this tournament. But I think on the other side of things, we're seeing the great old veteran coaches, Rick Pitino and Tom Izzo, you know, Rick Barnes at Tennessee, Calvin Houston at Houston, just to name a few that are still playing. And so guys that aren't getting older, getting better, and that old school can still win. And yet at the same time, you're seeing some brilliant young coaches. We have a matchup with St. John's and Duke. St. John's and Rick Pitino, Duke and John Shire, the oldest and the youngest in college basketball. So there'll be a lot of drama as we go through the weekend.
Nearly half of the field, Coach, is Big Ten. As a Midwest guy, I'll take pride in that. And I think Big Ten cuts the nets down in Indianapolis this year. First time since 2000. It's been a drought. All right, Coach. So great to see you. Thanks for joining us. We'll look for you tonight on the coverage.
Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.